Not Too Young to Run movement. On that day, I told them about the story, but I would like to fast forward to what happened about roughly 6 months after. A little story. The Not Too Young to Run campaign, they are broken into states, 36 states. But to get it passed into law, after the National Assembly have passed their bit, they needed 60% or 24 out of 36 states to pass the law. 23 had passed it, and there was one more left. The convener in Anambra for Not Too Young to Run, he called me, and Your Excellency, you were at NEC, National Economic Council, and I informed you. You told me to step out, you made a call to the speaker, and under 30 minutes, Anambra was the 24th state. So, Your Excellency, it's not just English you are speaking, you're acting by the young people who are here, everybody who's empowered. Bringing in young people into government is the most symbolic investment in the future of young people that any governor has made in Nigeria and ever. So I thank you for it, sir. So, Your Excellency, this year the theme of International Youth Day is safe spaces for youth. And these youth need safe spaces where they can come together, engage in activities, diverse needs and interests, participate in decision-making processes, and freely express themselves. But also the ideological meaning of that word is to essentially create a society and an ecosystem that provides opportunities for young people, that ensures that it's inclusive and also diverse. And this you're doing in Anambra State, sir. So, well, my brothers and sisters, as you already know, young people make up 70% of the political appointees serving Governor Willie Obiano in this administration. And we do have a record that was broken in 2016, where His Excellency made me the youngest commissioner in Nigeria. But a lot of people don't know the history behind that. They don't know that about a year and a half before that, His Excellency nominated me to the House of Assembly to serve as commissioner. And I got there on the floor of the assembly and found out that Section 148 or so requires that you have to be 30. So at that point, I came out of the assembly, I called His Excellency. I said, Your Excellency, this is what has happened. He said, young man, go back to work and focus on what you are doing. I said, thank you very much, sir. So I go back to Ansipo and I'm working. Only for me to wake up the next morning and I see an appointment letter in my office saying, you're hereby appointed the special advisor on economic planning to oversee the ministry, pending when you turn 30. His Excellency is... And this is just one story. I can go on for days, but I know we don't have time. Every single day he shows us why this craze and push and drive for getting a young president. It's not really about being 35 and being president, or being 40 and being president. It's the orientation and the ability to bring in young people, empower them, work with them, inspire them, and project them. And Your Excellency, that's what you're doing for every single one of us here. So a few achievements that His Excellency has done through the Ministry of the Budget and Planning in Anambra State. Last year, the empowerment budget for the state was about 100 million. After the elections, His Excellency said, it is youth that gave me my elections. They're the ones that ensured that ABGA and Governor Obiano returned to complete the job that we are doing. So, Mark, ensure you move that budget from 100 million to 5 billion. That's what the budget is under His Excellency. The first time it's ever happened. So, Your Excellency, most times, many people don't know the impact of what this action you've done has made. I walk around the country, sir. I see young men and women who say they are going to run because of what Governor Obiano did by empowering a young commissioner. Your Excellency, even in NEC, National Economic Council, sir, amongst your colleagues, I hear some people say, he has challenged us. So he has 2 or 3 young commissioners at 30. In my second term, I will hire 10 commissioners under 40. So, Your Excellency, the impact of this, of what you've done, will outlive you, outlive Anambra, but you will forever be remembered for this, sir. Thank you very much. Other achievements in the ministry is that His Excellency also approved that the State Budget Committee should also involve a representation from National Youth Council in the state, a representation from SUG government, so that as different ministries are presenting their budgets, right from inception, the youth are asking, what is the provision for us? Such that when the budget is passed to the State House of Assembly for them to review, these youth can continue and ensure that these provisions are protected. The first time ever it's done in Nigeria. Thank you, sir. And Your Excellency, lastly, you also inaugurated a committee of 13 very, very established Indian Anambra persons in creative economy space, entertainment space, and your brief to them on that day was, terms of reference for this committee is very simple. I want in 4 years to completely eradicate youth unemployment and underemployment. That's all. And that's what you said. You said you want to empower at least 15,000 youth every year. Currently, that blueprint is being put together. It will be presented to Your Excellency in about 2 to 3 months, in about a month and a half. And immediately, I trust Your Excellency, as you always do in your usual style, we implement and start empowering young people in a way that it has never been done in this country, sir. Lastly, Your Excellency, I would also want to state that as part of your response to the recession in 2016, sir, you said, I want to also ensure that those who are vulnerable and poor, those who are below the line, some of them the physically disabled, you said you would like to ensure that they get free employment, immediate employment for those who've studied in Anambra State. And all these are young persons. Every ministry is here. I have 10 in my ministry. And they're working even smarter than some of the people who are able-bodied. So, Your Excellency, I also like to say thank you for that. So, sir, just to wrap things up, I'd like to say a few quotes. Sir, from the words of Kailash Satai, an Indian activist and Nobel Peace awardee, they say that the power of youth is the commonwealth for the entire world. The faces of young people are the faces of the past, our present, and our future. No segment of the society can match with the power, the idealism, enthusiasm, and courage of young people. Your Excellency, this quote is essentially what you've done over the last 4 years and will continue to do for us young people. You're inspiring us. Today in Anambra State, every young man and woman, they can aspire to be governor, they can aspire to be senators, they can aspire to be MDs of banks and agencies, because that's essentially what is going on across the state. And that is the single most important form of empowerment you've done by improving youth inclusion in Nigeria and being a focus and a yardstick for other state governments and national governments in Nigeria, sir. But I say to young people, sir, that is not necessarily what the government can do for you, but what you also can do for your society and the government. We are all representatives of our communities, and we must imbibe those values of Indian Anambra: hard work ethic, the commitment, the drive. These are some of the things that we learn on a daily basis from His Excellency. And I'd like to advise some of us young persons who are there today and look at the world as perhaps it does not create opportunities for them, but it ultimately starts and ends with you and the day you decide to turn things around for yourselves. So on that note, sir, and in closing, I'd like to say that the process of creating safe spaces for the youth, including participation in decision-making, promotes their role as active contributors to the society and affords them with opportunities to reach their potential and achieve their goals. Once again, sir, I'm extremely pleased to have this occasion to speak with you and all who are listening. Thank you very much, and God bless. Build the youth, build the nation.
I did not hear you put your hands together for him. Please. He's not just a fine boy, but disarmingly cerebral. Put your hands together for him. It's not just about being young. It's about being